do remember hanging out. What was in Wilbur Flats is where it's near Woodstock, where I grew up. And the Grateful Dead was the band in my high school.
Yeah.
The band. And I can, right now in my mind, I can go back to like 1987, 88, somewhere between 15 and 16. And everybody used to go, we would go off to this dirt road that was very lightly traveled ever. And we would all pull off to the side, pop open trunks. This would start playing, and we'd have like a field party. Drinking.
It's a great era.
Yeah.
Great era for the Grateful Dead. 1987, they played at Silver Stadium. 1988, they played at Silver Stadium.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Killer shows.
Redmond's going to make it all the way to Toledo on one Grateful Dead album. The whole road trip's covered in one album.
Right on.
4 songs.
There's a few. I like Europe 72. I listen to that every once in a while. I'll throw that on. I'm not as big a Dead fan. I used to get very frustrated because you got like force-fed Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan music, and I would always say Bob Dylan was overrated because I was just constantly. And now as I'm getting older and stuff, I go back and I go, man, I really appreciate some of the Dylan and Dead, the Dylan stuff.
And the band hung out in...
So I got a funny story about the band. Not a very funny story, but yes, they did. They lived there. They had the pink house and the whole deal, so they started this thing. I started in radio. I was 19 years old. And they had me, I was fill-in morning guy for the original hits of the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Oh, some great tunes from the 50s.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to come in and do the Frank Sinatra hour, and I'd have to flip the album over because they came on pressed vinyl and stuff. And if you looked through the window to the next studio, it was the rock station. I wanted to be on the rock station. So I had gone down, and I don't know. They hired me. They put me on the air. And within a couple months, I was on WPDH. So they had this big thing called Riverfest. And since I was at both stations were represented, but I was also now on PDH. And I'm 19. And like I'm living the fucking dream. I'm living the fucking dream for me. And they had the mobile home of rock and roll. And we're doing cell phone calls in from boats on the Hudson River. We're out on the Donzie. Like, that was when I realized, like, I love going fast, but 60 miles an hour on an open boat is fucking way different than even doing 120 in a car to me. Because it feels so much. You just don't realize how fast that is when you're exposed to the elements, you know? Right. In a car, at least you're somewhat. Right. So we're doing that kind of stuff. And then it's my shift to come on the air. And so we're broadcasting from the mobile home of rock and roll. So he's back at the station. And so it was like these two giant speakers on each side, and the center had a console, and it was kind of advanced for, it was Poughkeepsie. They pulled it in with a van and hitched on the back, and you sat in it, and people could look in, and it was all looked like a radio dial, and there were speakers up, but there were cabinets underneath these, speakers, but you could hear everything that was happening. Yeah. And they go, hey, man, we just got confirmation. So just to give you the time, the spin doctors were just breaking. So when you're breaking, like back in the day, the record company would come in and try to incentivize you to play their new music.
Yeah, so you had to play a lot of Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
Pocket Full of Kryptonite and all this stuff. So they would incentivize with like trips, or they'd give you, hey man, if you give us 20 more spins a week of this song, we'll give you $1,000 cash to give away. That kind of shit, nice. Which was sort of the payola stuff that got even worse and involved some guys from Rochester that you would be familiar with their names, taking trips to Jackson Hole, Wyoming for their entire family and not giving the trip away, that kind of shit. So, yeah, to go skiing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was real?
Yeah, that was real.
Oh, wow.
So so they come to me. So the Spin Doctors are going to play, but no one had really heard of them at that point. Like they were all, it was the Blues Traveler. They all lived together. I think they lived together, literally. But they were going to come up and play, and the band was playing. And they go, hey, the band's coming in. They were supposed to be here for so-and-so shift, but they're running late. So when they come in, you got to interview them. And I look and I go, no. And they're like, what do you mean? And I go, I'm not interviewing the band. And they're like, yeah, you got it. They're coming in. It's your shift. I go, buddy, I can't do it. I know who they are, and I don't know enough. I can't do it. It would have been Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. So you guys call yourselves the band, and you are a band. That's amazing. You know what I mean? That would have been it.
Remember that time?
Yeah.
You guys
I couldn't, Dan, there was no way that I could do this and do it justice, only because I knew they had been Bob Dylan's band, and that's about all I knew. I knew Up on Cripple Creek. Yeah. I love that song. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, I knew Levon Helm. I knew he was a drummer. Robbie Robertson.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And I was like, I just felt like it would be, to me, in my mind at 19, and I really felt this way, I can actually picture it. The mobile home was yellow on the outside, had the big speakers. I could see it in my mind right now. And I remember feeling it would be absolutely disrespectful to this band to have me interview them. It just would. Now, I would love to sit down and interview them, but I had no idea. And they finally listened to me, and they said, okay. All right. And they got one of the older jocks came in and did the interview.
To do the interview?
Yeah, one of the older guys. And
Dave Kane walked in.
Huh?
Dave Kane would walk in.
Yeah. Somebody else came in. I forget who it was, and they did the interview, and I was like, all right, fine. That was kind of how we were going to move forward with that. But I couldn't do it.
It's a great story.
I couldn't freaking do it.
I give you a lot of credit for admitting that you weren't ready to do that.
I have always had a belief that you got to be self-aware. Yeah. And I also knew who they were, and I knew growing up in that area, and some of my friends' parents were really into them and all, and I'm like, yeah, man, these guys are like, I guess the term's iconic, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this. So I did.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So when Bob Dylan wore the hood, does that mean you can't talk to him?
Yeah.
Or because you're his band, you can talk to him, right?
Let me
hear those stories.
Let me call our
Peter.
buddy, Peter Montemerno.
He had to step out of a Christmas party for this one.
Oh, he did? Is he waiting?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
Just give me a 5-minute warning. I had to step out of a Christmas
Did you give
party.
him a 5-minute warning?
I gave him the 5-minute warning.
All right, we're going to call Peter Montemerno. He always breaks down the all-22 for us of the Bills games, and then we will we'll also ask him about what he's hearing about Kevin's team.
Yeah. Dodgers? No.
Kevin's been very quiet tonight.
Yeah.
I think he's still mad at you, dude.
Probably.
I'm looking for the mobile home of rock and roll on the Google image.
Oh.
To run me over?
The old mobile home of rock and roll. I mean, it was a cool thing. Peter.
No.
How are you, sir? I'm sorry that we're interrupting a holiday party, I hear.
'Tis the season, Bill. 'Tis the season.
It is the season. Dan Mason, general manager of our Rochester Red Wings, is in here as well tonight.
Dan, how are you? Rochester staple. Who's more of a Rochester staple, Dan Mason or Bill Moran?
Bill Moran, hands down.
I don't know. I think
Spikes.
Yeah. I don't know, because I've seen Dan dress up. My favorite was Cinco de Mayo many years ago when my boys were little and we went to the Red Wings game. That was fantastic.
Never see Superman ride a donkey before?
So, Peter, it's been an interesting week, and we talked to Tyler Dunn last night. Tyler wrote the article that was really kind of going at and I think fairly so, McDermott, and saying all the flaws that were in there. Some people thought the 9/11, bringing that up again after 4 years, was a bit sensationalized, and that was the thing that got a lot of attention nationally. When I went back and read the article again, I felt like it wasn't. It was more, here's a pattern of a guy who's very awkward and doesn't know how to lead a team. He did a great job instilling discipline and getting to them where they are, but it's almost the, hey, how ironic is this? The Peter principle. Yeah. We get to a point we can't get any further than that. But last night when we were talking to him, I did say, do you think it's possible that this article has had an impact, because there was a noticeable difference at the end of this game? Now, granted, had Kadarius Toney or whatever his name is not stepped off sides or lined up as a linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, you know what I'm saying? That game would have been lost. But beyond that, they still had to hold their own. And in the end, they didn't run it. They threw it with the final seconds. And, all of the things that I think, like when you have 20 seconds left on the clock and Josh Allen, don't kneel down. Let's try to go for it, which is what they did against Philadelphia.
Right. Right. Yeah. The article was something. It was, as the world turns last week in Buffalo again, on top of the Von Miller story and,
Yeah.
This story. And I don't think, the 9/11, and I think, we talked about this maybe earlier in the week, Danny, you and I, but, if that was supposed to be about the 9/11 story, he would have led with it, and he kind of buried it in the middle.
Yeah.
So that got traction in certain circles because of cancel culture. But really, at the end of the day, that article, like you said, is about his coaching ability or inability to make, decisions at the right time or the right decisions at a certain time. And I think it was a very credible article in many areas. And it told me even more and I understand everybody was looking for someone to come out and back this guy and say that, he's our coach, we trust him, et cetera. They all did it pretty much after the game. But what I was listening for in the post game, Bill, and I didn't really hear, was how great of a coach he is, or how great of a guy he is, one of the best human beings ever. Didn't get a response of how great of a coach he is in, universally uniform throughout the locker room. Which really, that article, sure, it attacked his character from that 9/11 perspective, but which wasn't a great decision that he made. And I think he already came out and said it wasn't a great decision. It was 4 years ago.
Just to me, it just showed how awkward the guy is. Like, he just makes bad analogies. That's how I took it. He makes bad analogies, and it doesn't really relate to the players or understand them, because it took Kyle Williams, who was actually visiting the team, to walk up to him and go, hey, coach, that probably wasn't a great thing. And then he apologized an hour later on the field. But according to the article, it was Kyle Williams who kind of put a bug in his ear to go, hey, man, that wasn't maybe the best use of your time with the team.
Somebody questions, thinking maybe he's on the spectrum.
I wondered that too.
That could be. Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
I mean, having lived with, my son kind of being that way. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I can see McDermott making comments about a baboon having a fascinating butt like Jackson Moran. Absolutely.
Jackson was a little.
Yeah, and the comments.
When Jackson
the comments that he made.
Yeah.
And those 9/11 comments he made, those aren't something that you're saying off the cuff. At some point, he thought about, wow, look at this strategy.
Yeah.
Look how they did this.
Yes.
Look how they came together. At some point, you're thinking about that, and then I'm going to use this for, just the path of that thought process was concerning to me. But the body of work on the football field as coach, to me, that article was credible because nothing has really changed. There hasn't been that, like, Coach McDermott coached a great game. It's the reason why the Bills won. I don't think we've ever had that conversation. And again, I wanted to hear a lot of the players come out and support him, not as a great human being, as a great guy. Because you could be a great guy and you could be a terrible football coach.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that backing that I was looking for. Yeah, it may have happened. I may have just overlooked it.
No, I don't think. I don't think so.
After the game, the guy who gave McDermott the game ball was his general manager, Brandon Beane. It wasn't like one of the defensive captains.
Yeah,
on his side of the ball. It wasn't your quarterback.
But I say this, and I said this last night. Nobody ever sees how they're perceived. I remember reading an article years ago when my kids were little that you should tape yourself when you interact with your kids. You should video yourself because you never to try to see it from the kid's perspective, right? Or anybody else. And I always thought after that, I think I did it once and then I went, fuck this.
Face for radio.
I get enough tape review in my life. I don't need that. But I remember thinking nobody really, in our mind, we think we're one way. And when in reality, or at least in the perception of others, we're not. So is it possible that this article, I mean, I said to Tyler last night, I think this will have a big impact on the season, positive or negative. I think had the Bills lost that game, it would have been like, well, everything in this article seems to be right. This is it. And we would have been like, the Salem witch trials where we're running them out on a rail had it gone one way. Now that there's a win here, and here comes Dallas in, and I think the Bills are still 2.5-point favorites in that game, which isn't, it's more of a push. But either way, they win this one, you start to go, hey, maybe McDermott internalized this a little bit or had some people go, Coach, this isn't way off base. You know, a lot of guys said nice things about you in the article, but this isn't way off base. And that the play calling at the end of the game seemed to change a little bit. Maybe it does good, as odd as that sounds.
It may. I mean, every game's a playoff game from here on in. Forget about the rest of the regular season games are playoff games. So his decision making will rise to the top because they're playing good opponents. You got Dallas, you got Miami mixed in there. You got to go out to San Diego. So, I mean, there's going to be that his coaching decisions will rise to the top.
But,
so let's see. Let's see if it does.
Well, they got to go out. Well, L.A. is, I mean, it's L.A.
I call San Diego.
I do the same thing in my head all the time. But L.A. is going to be distracted anyway because I hear Belichick's going there.
You also got New England in that run, too. Don't forget about them.
Yeah, but they're already asleep.
Beat you once.
Don't worry.
That's fair.
I don't like it.
There's certain circles there's certain NFL circles are talking about Bill Belichick going to San Diego.
Really?
And you look at the
LA Chargers. I do it too.
And I get it from a very, very, very good source, Bill. I mean, he actually, you look at the general manager of San Diego, Telesco, who's a Buffalo guy, went to St. Francis with Polian's son. He's part of that Polian tree.
Yeah.
And you got the head coach there, went to John Carroll, coached at John Carroll against Fisher when Fisher played and them in the playoffs. And Polian has a very, very good connection with Telesco. So when I hear those things that, in certain circles in the NFL, it's being discussed that Bill Belichick might be in San Diego, I take that with a high level of credibility.
But definitely out of New England, no matter what. Is that what we're hearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you wear hoodie in LA?
Yeah.
Well, inside, air conditioning. I don't know how you do that.
I mean, the sleeves can still be cut off, but that just defeats the point of the hood.
What did you see on the tape? Anything that you liked in the game against Kansas City?
Yeah, I did this defensive line, Bill. I was hard on them since the Jets game. Every week, I'm kind of splitting hairs, I feel like, with some of the way these guys are playing, but they are rushing the passer more consistently. Their integrity of the rush is remaining solid and consistent. They're not trying to do a lot of someone else's job. They're playing to win 11th. I do like how they performed their pass rush. I do love the way Joe Brady's calling this offense.
Yeah,
I like the motion that he's using, the pre-snap motion.
Yeah.
They're getting Cook involved, and you see Cook's play is getting better and better every week.
Yep.
And I think he's more confident of a player because now he knows that he is a integral part of this offense. I mean, from running the football and catching out of the backfield, that first touchdown, that seam route was beautifully run. The routes were run perfectly. It was a great call, good protection. So I really love to see what the offense is doing. You see a different level of confidence from them. I'm waiting to see more from Diggs. Diggs has been a little bit of a question mark the past couple of weeks, but again, they are bracketing him. They're anchoring down on him. You're going to have to get one of these receivers in the next 4 or 5 weeks has to step up big. It's got to be Gabe. It's got to be Shakir. Could be Kincaid. You look to see what Kincaid did last week. He had an incredible game. You're going to have to see more and more because, again, teams are trying to take Diggs out and get him out early, and you're going to see the same thing against Dallas. I hope that, looking at this offensive line, how they played, they did a pretty good job this week against Kansas City. Again, these aren't this isn't the most athletic offensive line, and you're going against an incredible D-line in Dallas. So I am hoping they're going to deploy a lot of quick passing game this Sunday because you don't want to have Josh in the pocket with those guys bearing down on him, or you do some kind of legal cut blocking at the line of scrimmage to help get some guys on the ground and open up some more passing lanes. But I'm very impressed with Joe Brady's calling. Very impressed with Cook. Very impressed with the defensive line. They're becoming more responsible every week. And that will be at the top of my list so far, Bill. It was a good win. Again, they're one toe away from being, it would have been a minute left. They could have come back and won it. We'll never know. But, that was a play that we're never going to, you rarely ever see that. I felt like the last time we saw a play like that was in Miracle in Music City with the with Frank Wycheck, who actually passed away the day before, on Saturday for the game.
Yeah.
So that was the last time we saw something like that. So it doesn't happen all the time, but I think that the defense is going to have their hands full Sunday.
Do you like the who do you like in this game then?
I like the Bills. I do at home. I do like the Bills. I like it. I like their 425. It's 425 game, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So another national televised game. Dak and the gang going to Buffalo. I don't think Dak's ever played there. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I just think Buffalo has it's the right time of the year. 7-6. They were 7-6 back in, what was it, 2018 or 19 when they had the 13-second game.
Right.
So I never want to say that you really should never compare, one year after another. It's tough to compare because that team's not the same exact team as we have today. Plus, you don't want to celebrate that you were 7-6. You're trying to, kind of defend it as where you are this year. But I like the matchups here. There are going to be some great individual matchups on the line of scrimmage at the wide receiver position for the Cowboys. Lamb is a great wide receiver, possibly the best one we're going to see all year. So it's going to be a barn brawl. I think it's going to be good.
I want to see Dak Prescott melt down like Patrick Mahomes after the game. I want that same thing. That you got to go 2 in a row for me. I want to see that. It was very un-Kansas City-like, that behavior. And I said to these guys, certainly Dallas had their run as I think you could call them a dynasty in the 70s and probably again in the 90s. And certainly we know what the Patriots did. But both those dynasties were hated. The closest thing we've had in my mind right now would be Kansas City, and they were likable until now. Until now. So
worst call I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, he didn't
That
stop.
was-
He didn't stop. He hugs Josh. And he kept going around the field. They follow with the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, as he's walking, he kept
going.
saying it. He kept saying it. It was
He was telling the photographers. He was telling the security guards.
And at the same time, I go, boy, I am so competitive. I lost it in an adult kickball game, so I have no credibility at all. I have nothing to say.
What I loved hearing in the press conference where he said, and I had to laugh because he says, I saw the video, but his foot was a little bit offside. No. You're either offsides or you're not. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not.
Yeah, he was lined up as a linebacker for the Bills.
His helmet covered up the ball from the sideline. I mean,
it did.
It was bad.
It was egregious. It was the right call. And if that call wasn't made, then we're all talking about a terrible call cost the Bills a football game.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, on the opposite side, the offensive lineman, the right tackle, was 3 feet behind the line of scrimmage too. He wasn't even on the line.
I'm glad you brought that up. When you watch the film, guys, and I don't know if I hope they're talking about this at a high level in New York when they're grading the referees, but there is an issue around the entire NFL. If you watch these left and right tackles every Sunday, they are pushing the envelope as to where they're lining up on the field. And if they're in the backfield, and there's only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
And then if they're in the backfield and then the wide receiver is on the line of scrimmage and the tight end's on the line of scrimmage, well, now that turns the tackle because the second man on the line of scrimmage on that side,
he can't go.
Is ineligible.
So
he's ineligible.
The receiver would have to be the tackle.
That's right.
Wow.
So the second man who is on the line of scrimmage, the second man is not eligible. That's why you hear sometimes in the game, number 68 reports as eligible.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, because the formation that they're getting into, so they make that call. When you don't make that call and you have a tackle that's sitting in the backfield, screws up the whole play.
Yeah.
It's legal formation, tight ends covered up, XYZ, they're not eligible. And that happens all the time. Why they don't call it, I don't know. And Kansas City is worse. I mean, it's egregious how far back they're lining up.
And that's why there's an argument to get rid of the tush push, because Philadelphia started it with crowning their offensive line around, Hurts and everything else. And then the last few years, left tackle, right tackle, but getting like a half step head start at the snap.
Cheaters.
And the reason, and the NFL is starting to allow it. And the reason is because they say the defenses are so fast and so sophisticated, they want to protect the quarterback. So they're allowing, wink, wink, the tackles to get up faster before the snap.
some of
But
these
people
guys-
are cracking on it, like like Peter and everybody else, and Florio's talking about it in Pro Football Talk. So they're probably going to have to redo it. Even Goodell was asked about it, I think, yesterday.
So I try to give it a little bit of. Okay, if I'm watching this game, if I'm sitting there on the 50-yard line and the play is on the 30-yard line, okay, the depth perception is a little off. So when I'm watching the film, I want to see the plays that are around the 50-yard line where I'm staring straight down the line of scrimmage. And there are about 8 plays, and 6 of them were no question it should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
6 of them.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's Monday morning quarterback, but it's got to be addressed. It's got to be addressed.
Well, Peter, I hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday party if it's still going on, and don't have too much. Don't have too much eggnog, and go Bills!
Go Bills!
I love it.
I should have had more eggnog before I got on this call. It would have been even better.
I'd like to see Peter with a little buzz. A buzz. Peter.
He's all right. He was at a Christmas party of ours once.
One day.
All right. One day.
Yeah, one day.
We'll make that happen. All right. Thanks, Peter.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take care. Thank you. Later on. Bye.
Bye. We will take a moment. Very excited because Stephanie and Mike have shown up.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And somebody even wrote me and said, will Mike be on camera? And I said, I don't know.
Find out next.
We will find out. That's right. But first. Stephanie, we've had a little drama on the program.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And it was between Dan and Kevin, kind of.
Yeah, it was all by
there was
myself.
something that went on here. And then to me, I'm somewhat in there.
Yeah.
I got a toe on the line. I'm Kadarius Tony in this one. I just had a toe on the line.
Yeah, you're the guy that threw the flag out.
But Kevin was not happy over a text that was read on the air that he had sent to Dan, and then he said he wasn't coming in yesterday. And
Which I also told you guys Sunday that I wasn't going to be here on Wednesday.
I know you did.
Shows you guys listened very well.
Well, here's the
do you want to go under the hood?
You guys need to kiss and make up? What's going on?
Actually,
I can rub your belly.
I may have said it like 2 or 3 times on Sunday.
I knew he wasn't coming in.
Well, I got confirmation of that text the other day.
But I'm just I know. But my favorite part of this is, do we say?
What, that I had an idea and you decided it would be fun to make it more of a shit stir? Absolutely. Go ahead and say.
So sorry.
We were fucking with you the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you read it, last night, you didn't want to really read it and all this stuff. And then because he said, I don't even know how it started, but he's like, hey, what if I go with Dan? I go, okay. Let's see what happens. So
And then I'm getting text after text of different ideas. He wanted
shit.
You wanted me to get up and walk out tonight when
Wait,
Peter
the
came
joke was on me the whole time?
Well, the joke was a little bit on you.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Were you legitimately upset?
No,
he wasn't legitimately upset.
I was going to say, for a second, okay, time out. I thought you were, I read the text, I'm like, is he mad?
Yeah.
Is this serious? Because I'm definitely not coming
Well,
in
no,
now.
what I said was, you said.
And it was more of FYI, I'm not in tonight.
And then, it was FYI, I'm not
That
in
was
tonight.
just-
But then he said.
To let you know that I wasn't coming in.
Wait, hang on a second. Now, see, this is where you change
All right, Progressive,
stories.
let's go into the story.
You
under the hood.
changed stories a little bit because I think you said I'm going to write him saying and I'm not coming in tonight, even though I knew you weren't. But you said I'm going to send that to Dan.
Yeah, but I wrote it in a way that there's plausible deniability.
Yes. Yeah, okay, all right.
FYI, I'm not in tonight. That's hey, I'm not going to be there.
Your exact quote was, after you said, I'm not going to go into that again. FYI, I'm not coming in tonight now. With the exclamation point.
See, yeah, you forget keywords there.
Yeah.
But
words matter.
Great joke.
Yeah, I'll give you credit.
That was good.
Did you like my Boys to Men response?
I didn't listen to it.
Then we tried to give you a
sorry.
I'm sorry. But anyway.
I didn't mean that.
Nice. So there was a little bit of shit stirring going on there. No, it wasn't entirely
I'm going to get you guys.
I know.
Get you guys.
I know.
I felt bad.
It was 60-40. I'll take the 60. You can have the 40.
So
Did you really get those at the dollar store, though?
No, I didn't get those in the dollar store.
By the way, I went to the dollar store today just for some stuff. I was like blown away. The dollar store. All the shit that's in there. I had no idea. Yeah, for Christmas stuff, it's fucking fantastic.
Great deal on
Especially
hangers.
gift bags.
Yes.
The Wegmans are like $7.99.
No
Dollar
shit.
store, $1.25.
Oh, are they $1.25?
They bumped it $1.25 store.
Oh, all right. Okay, whatever. It's still a
a
lot.
good deal. Yeah.
So, how have you been?
Excellent. Been busy with work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, people, I'm not kidding. People wanted to know if Mike was going to be on camera.
He can be. He's
All right.
ready.
Yeah. So,
Boom.
And he's comfortable to be here and all. Yeah. All right.
You want me to switch spots with him?
No, because the greatest thing, Mike, he's like I'm sure you listened to the podcast and stuff when you guys first started.
Oh,
Stephanie's writing, and like we were making fun of her that in 3 weeks she was like ready to.
I mean, I knew
write
it
you
for
a
the
song.
first date.
Yeah, right.
Like, I didn't write him a song.
No,
though,
that was the
'cause
thing.
That was bad luck.
Yes,
No
it was
more
bad luck. No more
songwriting.
songwriting. But then all this, So how long has it been now? It's almost a year.
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
All right, so 7 months. In that time, at any point, was it overwhelming? Stephanie could be a lot.
No, not for me.
No. All right. And then Stephanie, because we all learned an awful lot about Stephanie. She said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn. No injuries or anything along the way?
Random drumstick.
A little chafing.
Up the ear.
A little chafing. Okay. That's all. I don't need to ask any more than that. I was just curious because I go, you said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You were very open.
I wasn't wrong about anything,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like you prior to even Mike being on the scene.
For sure.
You would be very, very open about
Yes.
things.
I still am.
Yes.
What do you want to know, Bill?
I want to know how long it took to get the STD test back.
So we met on May 1st, and by that Wednesday, got the test.
How do you? So I don't even know where do you go to do that.
You just go to like
Dollar store
had the
sells
doctor- You just go to like the
Pregnancy,
U of R
drug, and
lab.
STD.
You go to the U of R lab.
Yeah, just blood work. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just say, "Hey, I want blood work and run an STD test."
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
you
need to
may
have
wanna-
prior
So I think
authorization
it
from
was-
your doctor?
I want to
Yeah,
get
you
down
just
with
call
Stephanie.
in.
Hook me up.
You just call and you say. So by May 3rd, we just saw a picture of me. I sent him with the blood work on May 3rd. I'm like, look what I'm doing. Just ran across it the other day.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right.
So yeah, it took 2 days and I went.
Does your how much?
And then we had the
I
results.
got a lot of
the
questions
next
here.
day.
Okay, but do you call your doctor every time and go, "I need prior authorization to go get an STD test"?
No, I just call in. I say, I would
questionable
like to
happened
have a
last
new
weekend.
sexual partner. Can you order a full blood panel?
Uh huh.
And they just do it.
Here's my question.
Charge the stick.
How wait, hang on a second. How often? I shouldn't ask this for Mike, but I'm so
I have
curious.
low numbers. I'm
No,
proud.
no, but how
It's
many
not like
times-
I've done it that many times.
How many times
but
in a year did you have blood tests done?
I think it was just 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How many times has the doctor gone like this?
Never. Never. Yeah.
You recommend everybody do this, probably.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, if we knew our status right now, we could stop AIDS in its tracks. That was a commercial I saw.
Oh yeah, that is true. I would be somewhat I don't know. I'm like hesitant. I don't want to know.
You're like my father. Like he wanted to know
don't
everything
know.
until it was time to know something.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
You had a crazy
I always
96
was
and just don't want
scared
to know?
of like HIV. Like that's a
Yes.
big one.
Yeah,
like,
I know, but
ugh,
it's
like-
still out there, but we don't think about it.
I do. He does too. He's also paranoid. It was
Come
like
on,
a
really,
perfect
Mike?
match.
Yeah,
Oh,
health class really worked for me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
We're both paranoid about it, so it's a good fit. Yeah.
HIV in particular, or any other?
I have pretty much all of them. HIV is a
HIV
big
was the
scare.
most important one, yeah.
We grew up in that era where
HIV,
it was a
gonorrhea,
death sentence. I mean,
COVID, you know.
Yeah.
All the vids.
Like health class definitely scared us. And then my mom scared me.
my parents told me it was known as venereal disease. They just categorized all
Yeah, it
all
was,
the STDs
VD.
into one. Then they like, no, we're going to specialize these. There's gonorrhea, there's syphilis, there's herpes.
You ever go through the book as a kid and look at the pictures of the different things?
Definitely.
Oh,
How do you
man.
think I turned out like this? oh, I'm scared.
Well, we know why. Your mom was in here
Yeah.
and she told you all the things that could go on.
Definitely did.
She sugared some crazy shit.
Man, I've heard of like scared straight, but not
That
like
was
sexually
me.
scared straight.
Sugared
That's
straight.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sugared straight. Yeah. That's how is mom?
She's awesome.
Now,
For her little surgery, she's still gimpy and stuff.
yeah. Now, Mike has met the family.
They love him.
What's the plan? Are you going down for the holidays?
My dad said he completes the circle in our family. He's
Wow,
the
Mike.
missing link.
Mike, this is a lot of pressure, man. You know, as a guy, I'm just
dad
saying,
just
like, as a
said.
guy, it's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
I don't feel pressured.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No
I
pressure
don't
at
feel
all.
pressure either.
See, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's exactly true. Yeah.
All right. So we all didn't think that this would go as well as it's going, only because it was like I've never seen anything. I mean, you talk about cars going 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. She went 0 to 60 in 1.2.
I mean, I knew the first day. I was like,
knew.
oh my God.
We
he's
both
aw-
knew.
We both knew the first day. Yeah.
Well, you came in here saying it. She's glowing. She couldn't stop talking about it. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, we kept saying like, this isn't going to work. This
The
isn't going.
first
Well, you said
day.
that. You said that. I didn't say that. You did.
No,
I didn't say that.
everybody in the room agreed.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I don't
A
recall.
lot of people were, I guess, voting against me. Kind
Why
of.
voting against
I
you?
don't know.
No, only because you came because we hadn't seen anything go that fast. I'm like, you'll scare them away, is what I figured.
We both felt that same speed.
Yeah, well, that's
Right?
great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a kindred spirit, soulmates. I think they call that,
Yeah.
right?
Everything lines up perfectly.
Yeah, and he seems like he's been very supportive, and everything's been cool for you. I see the drumming
Yeah.
videos, and
Yeah.
you're going to be playing over.
She's my protege.
Oh, that's funny.
I am.
At my wine and cheese bar, you guys are going to be doing a set over there.
Yeah. January 15th. Are you ready?
I hope so.
So, I mean, like, now Stephanie has told us, and I have heard other friends of hers say they never see her when she's in a relationship because she wants to spend all her time with
I like
Mike.
doing stuff with him.
No, but
So,
you like
come
doing-
over, or
Yes.
go out as couples.
Yes, but didn't some of your friends say, "Hey, we never see you," like a girls' night?
I don't want to go out downtown. I mean, I'll grab dinner. I just don't want to go out and about to 1 a.m.
Yeah. I
Except
got
for
that.
in a committed relationship. I want to go with him. Or
No,
I'd rather
I understand it, but I'm just saying
dinner
they were saying like girls' night or something that they never really saw you because and you said I want to spend all my time with him, and I went.
I don't want to tear it up on girls' nights anymore.
But does he want to spend all his time with you? Would he be
Ask him.
Would he be like, "Fuck, please just go for one night"?
I don't think
No, not at all.
God damn it! Come on, man.
No, not at all. I mean, we share a lot of the same common interests. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we could just sit down in the basement and jam for an hour, 2 hours, and it's just such a great time.
we don't even watch TV.
We don't watch TV.
We just hang and talk and play and
Wow.
we just
Have either one of you ever had that with someone before?
I never have.
No.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, we stopped. We just sit there and we'll just
Well,
talk.
here's so let's say like I'm meeting Mike really for the first time. Mike seems like kind of
Not for these guys.
no, that's true, but kind of a stoic guy, a guy who kind of keeps to himself, a little quiet. Usually isn't going to open up feelings and all that shit. She fucking cracked you like a nut, bro. I'm sure because this broad does not stop.
Lots of changes.
And I'm not saying that that's bad. It's probably very healthy and very good.
It
I'm
is.
just
She
going.
taught me a lot of things.
Had to be culture shock.
A little bit, but for the better.
Yeah.
She made me a better person.
Look at that.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Is that what you want, Danny?
That's what you want.
Yeah.
My wife makes me a better man.
That's right.
I love it that you love your wife too. It's
She's
so
awesome.
Nice. It's so nice that you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not
very.
a lot of
I
men
make her a
will.
better woman too.
What do you mean a lot of not a lot?
Not
of
a
men?
lot of men will.
Well, because after so many years, it just becomes.
Well, I think that is sad.
you gotta. It is. Well, finding the right person may be one of the most important things you do in your life.
I feel like an idiot for some of the people I dated. I'm like so embarrassed.
Why?
Yeah, but that's like here's the
I
thing.
know
though.
you've learned so much.
Well,
but
you're
then when
talking
you have
about
such a
kissing frogs.
Kissed a lot of frogs.
Do you realize
yeah.
that 99% of the people you'll date you won't marry? Like they're all going to be mistakes until you find the one.
That's true.
That's the idea of dating.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know because I would think like Stephanie starts out like she did with Mike with a lot of people.
I do tend to be
I
I go fast with everything.
Yeah,
Just-
but you
You're all
love.
in.
But when you're gonna love, you're gonna love. You're gonna love. And
I'm in or out. I just that one of those
some of these people would be like, "Oh God." Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's just how I am.
What is the most adventurous, fun thing you guys have done?
Oh boy.
Take this one.
Ha!
I don't know.
No.
Blindfold night.
It's hard to. We have fun all the time,
All right.
nonstop.
All right.
I don't know if we have like a
Build a
crazy
doomsday
story,
shelter in the
though.
basement.
Well, I would think when we went to Lake Placid, when we got to climb up on the mountain, I mean, that was adventurous. That was fun.
Yeah,
It wasn't crazy,
definitely.
but it was.
Yeah.
The mountain just never ended. We just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And I was like, when is this thing going to end?
Done a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's like-
Art painting classes.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
We do stuff all the time.
Wait, you did
I don't know
art
if
painting
anything-
classes
Yeah.
together? That's something. Dude, you've never done an art painting class prior to this.
No,
have you?
and I didn't really have appreciation for it until I did it. And now watching people draw and paint.
Yeah, it is. It's probably pretty therapeutic. But
It
you look
really
like a guy
was,
who
yeah.
will rather swing an axe, be outside doing that.
Definitely.
No, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. And then Stephanie comes, "Hey, let's go painting."
So I have an idea, and I always
now,
tell
what if
them,
it was body painting? That would be different.
I say just try it one time. If you don't like it, we don't have to do it again. That's like my philosophy. So I've gotten them to do a lot of stuff.
Like eating raw fish, one of them.
Yes.
Wait, sushi?
Yeah.
Yes.
For my birthday, I just wanted him to try a piece of sushi, and he did.
Yeah, and you never ate. You're not a fan.
Fish.
Oh, you don't like fish?
He's scared of raw too, so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of jokes there.
Oh, and
There's a lot of jokes there. I got to think.
thus the blood test.
Well, I'm sure. But wait, so you realized?
I do enjoy snapper once in a while.
Yeah. I got that. And we heard stories. Not about you. Just like just stories. Never mind. I'm what? Didn't she say a lot of stuff?
Yeah, okay.
There were a lot of things.
I should have
discussed.
taken your advice and got and walked out.
No, but a lot of things were said over the past year. That's all. I think, and good things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You don't have any like crazy questions? Like, what's the most adventurous thing? That's it, Bill?
Well, I have a lot of
That's
crazy
it?
questions, but I feel like it would be uncomfortable to
Have
go
you ever
like,
had a disagreement?
no, of course, everybody has a
Yeah,
fucking
but
disagreement.
some people don't.
We've never had like a fight.
Wait, have you ever made
See?
her cry?
Yes.
Yes!
He has.
Of course.
How many days before he farted in front of you?
That's really funny.
Why? Because it was day one.
Tell the story. It's pretty funny.
So when I first met him, he like doesn't poop in front of me or even talk about it. Same with farting. And then it was like really weird. I finally was like, when do you poop? Like, because he would
Wait,
hide
she
it.
asked
like,
this shit to you?
She would ask me, yeah.
I did. I'm like, because this
She
is
was like
weird.
a PI investigator.
We have a lot of time together.
Why do I
Like,
think
when
that
are you
Stephanie
going?
probably goes and she would, if no matter what's going on in the bathroom, she'll leave the door open and continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
You gotta smell.
I knew it. I knew it.
this.
Absolutely.
No, because you just don't care.
No.
If you're intimate with somebody, you are
I wanna be-
all the way
yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. So it took you the longest time before you farted. Look how embarrassed he
Well,
is.
because it's weird. It's usually the other
But
way
I think-
around. It's usually the guy who's going to fart in front of the,
I
like the
know.
woman who keeps it quiet.
But
You're
I
like,
think you're
But
more
it was an accident,
comfortable
though.
now.
well, usually
It
it
was
is.
an accident.
His first fart was so fun. You want me to tell him?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So we just get done doing it, and we're naked, and he's putting on his boxer shorts.
Bends
and
over.
He bends over, and
Yeah.
as he's standing up into him, it goes up. I was this guy's been hiding farts and poops. And that's his first time. After that, naked putting on boxers. I laughed so hard. I was like choking. I'm like, out of all the ways for your first fart to be, it's this. Oh,
All right,
he
what
just
was yours?
laughed
What
and
was yours?
laughed.
She probably
When you opened the door the first night?
She probably climbed on top of his head,
Yo.
hung her ass over his face, and goes, "Hey, baby!" There it is.
I don't know if I remember.
I don't remember.
I think I like laughed in bed once. It was like boop, like a little puff.
It was a
Yeah.
poof.
Mine was kind of a cooler way, not embarrassing like him. Yeah,
Well,
I
you
don't
bent
fart,
over.
I fluff.
So
Princess Puffs.
yes, I'm sure they are Princess Puffs. This is I get the impression though that you have dragged Mike out of his shell.
Oh, for sure.
Completely. Not that he was in a shell, but he's a guy. He's not gonna. He was raised right. He's not shitting with the door open. He's not doing that. He's, you know.
I mean, we don't shit with a door.
I know you do, but I think you do. I think if you went in and you
I
wouldn't care.
actually do. I don't-
she's a little private with that when it comes
Yeah.
to
All right.
But I can say like, I gotta go potty. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he couldn't even vocalize if he had to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who didn't say I gotta?
I got to go see a
take
guy
leak?
about a thing.
I gotta take a leak.
So he used to.
He used to what?
So when he would poop, he would pretend, oh, I'm going to go shut down the garage. I'm going to be a couple minutes. So we'd be at like the cottage and he'd be outside for a while. He's always like outside.
Just shit in the bushes?
So
like a
one
bear.
night, I think it's so funny. I'm going to scare him, right? So he's out there shutting down. I pretend I go in the house. Then I run back out like by the pool house. And I'm like hiding behind the pool house bathroom, waiting to like, boo, jump him out. And so he's not coming for a while. And I'm leaning up against the pool house door and he's in there shitting.
I could hear her. I hear footsteps.
But he hears like my body rubbing up against the door, and I'm sitting there waiting for him, and he's like waiting till finally, after a couple minutes, he's like, hello? That was the first time. I was like, so you do poop? You've been sneaking it this whole time, saying you're doing outside
You
chores."
should actually appreciate that more than anything.
So funny.
No, you should appreciate that.
That he tried to be a gentleman about pooping.
Yeah.
But it's so funny he caught me.
But
Trying
you
to scare him.
you bring out you're wild, right? You get a little.
His life's been very adventurous.
Huh?
Yeah. It's been adventurous.
It has been.
No, but I mean, like, okay, all right. Most uncomfortable thing that she made you do. Can you say? You don't have to, but can you?
I don't know.
I think eating raw fish was definitely up there.
All right.
That was really tough
All
for me
right.
to do. Yeah.
Was it alive?
No.
It was at Nobu, the best sushi like in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, where's that?
You've never had it? It's
No.
in major cities.
No.
It's,
Robert De
I
Niro
love-
owns it.
restaurant.
I love sushi.
De Niro's, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, it's
How easy is
phenomenal.
Stephanie to travel with?
Oh, she's very easy. She's
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a great time traveling. She's very easy.
Do you ever feel like though you're fucking exhausted? Excuse me, I'm going to pretend she's not here. You just get exhausted. Like you're just like, I just need a fucking break. Like no matter what it is. I'm thinking like everything with Stephanie is at like an 11, right? Everything. Not in a bad way, but you know, like sex, everything. That after a while you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking sushi down here. Can we stop? It's like,
No, not all the time.
Not all the time.
She does have her
Well, you got
high intense moments, and then she does have her normal moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, she is pretty even.
He really enjoys going to work.
How about concerts? You been to a concert with her yet? Because I heard she can.
Shinedown.
Yes, too.
And
Down in the pit.
yep.
Yeah, and that was my first concert actually down at the pit.
Yeah.
I've never been down.
See, all this stuff,
Yep.
right?
It was great.
You got to admit, man, you do bring out a whole different life for people.
And the whole thing too is like the honesty piece, of just talking about things that I normally wouldn't talk about with other girlfriends.
Yeah. Can you give an example and try to think of one that's maybe you're comfortable with?
Just like a recent girlfriend that I had prior to meeting her, just being able to say, that I really liked her. It didn't work out. Just being able to give more detail than I normally would with somebody else on certain aspects, because she's so honest. And
you wouldn't get
brings it out.
I just wanted to know, share everything.
And I knew it wouldn't make her mad if I were to say certain things, because she's that honest as well about things.
Yeah. What do you mean, though, Stephanie? Were you like probing to see if there were still feeling? I have a feeling like
No,
there's.
just
here's
wanted to
here's where
know.
my head would go if I got asked that question, Mike. Like, what did you want to know? For example,
just
can you
tell me, who have you dated? I did.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the question. It would just be my comfort level of telling her how.
Right. Did you say anything like, how did you feel about this person? Were you really hurt when they left? That sounds very you to ask these questions.
I was just kind of like, tell me about your relationship since you broke up with your ex. you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Have you been on the dating apps? Like, what's it been like?
Yeah. Were you on dating apps?
I started on one, yes.
And did it go well for you or no?
Right before I met her, I had a pipeline building up, and then nothing materialized.
Yeah.
Did you search it?
Pipeline building up. I love the term.
I had a pipeline building up too.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All right.
just
What are we
saying.
bragging here? We're having a contest? My pipeline was bigger than yours.
Did you search them on
No.
on that website you
Because
told
I
us about?
had, yes, I definitely did.
Oh, you did?
I did search
The
him.
Facebook page? Are we
Yeah.
dating the same guy?
I
Facebook,
definitely was
Rochester?
like Mike, and I was scrolling for a while.
There was nobody there.
Nope,
No.
nobody home.
No. But if you saw something, you would have responded.
I would have.
But
I
it's
would have
almost like-
told him.
You would have told
I'm
him.
like, who's this girl? What's this story?
Yeah, but would you have responded to the girl?
I
Because to
depends
me,
on what she says.
It's kind of, to me, it's like, well, you're looking for, you're
not
looking.
looking. It just you kind of just go on that site to make sure there's not anything really crazy on there.
I just think, like, if you look for trouble, you'll find it. You know what I mean? If you're looking for something, you're going to find it. So
I
either
would
you
agree
go
with
with your
that.
instincts, which your instincts for both of you guys were, it's been,
Yeah.
pooping in front of each other since day one.
No.
Yeah, is it like those Cialis
But
commercials?
now
where
you
it's two
can
different
fart
toilets
and
sitting
it's
next to each
not.
other?
We just laugh. And
Yes.
It's not like
fan-
World War III awkward or
All right,
anything.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll take a moment. We have the certificate we're going to give away for Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. Can you hang for one more?
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll do one
Okay.
more.
Okay.
And we'll get to that after this.
Okay.
How's that?
Hello?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
that's better.
So that's the one I'm going to give it to.
Oh, is it?
Oh, they're out?
He didn't tell me what.
feel like it's church when everybody like stands up.
Yeah.
You hear like the, oh, I guess this is what we're doing now.
My eyes are open wide. By the way,
Is this your band?
I made it.
Can you play this song?
Yeah.
You can.
I can play anything now. At least go to the beat, but it might not be. It's not exactly how they play it, I should say.
Today, I just saw Haley's comet your way.
They play this when you saw them?
Yeah.
Shinedown?
Yeah.
Where were they last?
Yeah, where did you see them?
Syracuse.
Oh yeah, Syracuse at the amphitheater on the
Actually,
water.
before they played the song, they did an intro that Casey Kasem. Remember, they played a Casey Kasem
Yeah.
Like he
audio clip that this song, whenever they did it back in 04, 05, that this song was number one. That
Wow.
was pretty cool, yeah.
That is really cool.
I like seeing their eyes. They look at you. They sweat. Like I like being close.
Yeah. You see, you're,
I mean, I have
you're a
Metallica
unique-
How about
snake
this one?
pit.
You're-
We went to see
glasses.
Bush in
Joey
Syracuse
saw Bush.
a couple weeks ago, and her friend is a huge fan, and the band finished. Steph's up front.
They didn't. Gavin didn't throw any picks or anything.
She jumps on stage.
What?
Jumps on stage.
Yeah, I
grabs
did.
a pick out of his
Mic stand.
mic stand and jumps off stage. Nobody said anything. No one saw it.
I was like,
What do you do in those situations?
I was about 5 rows back. I was like, holy shit, did she just do that? And she jumps off like 5 feet from the stage
Yeah.
Wait, how are you 5 rows back?
because she went up. This
Oh,
was
she
at the
just-
end of the night.
So at
lights
the end
are
of the
on.
night, people start walking, and I was like waiting for the guys taking on the stage to like.
So what are you
Far
going to
enough
do with
away.
this pick?
It's just. I
gave it to
keep-
her friend.
It's like I gave it to my friend.
And s- okay.
She's obsessed. I
So
don't
he
know.
came to town, and we had him at a holiday party.
Gavin?
I was
Yeah.
there. This was like 10
08
years
or
ago.
09.
Yes,
I have
yes.
a picture with him.
No, it was longer than that. It was like 08, 09, around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there, and I met him and took a picture with him.
Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I could probably find it if you guys get talking about sports or something that I don't. I mean, I watched the game, but I don't know the stats and the.
No, it's all right. We did enough
I know,
sports. We did enough sports. We talked a little baseball. We talked some football. We did all that. Do you watch with
Yeah.
Mike? What's
both-
your team?
We're the same. We're both like casual sports watchers. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to put on football and we'll get into it and watch it, or we'll go like 3 weeks without watching anything. We're both the same.
I don't have a team.
No?
Saves you a lot of
You want to watch
aggravation.
football or you want to watch Antiques Roadshow? What's up?
No, they don't watch Antiques Roads. So Stephanie brought up an interesting thing, sort of off mic, how she doesn't like to be blindsided,
Correct.
which is why you
So-
asked Mike about a lot of.
Yes.
Okay.
So
But isn't there a trust issue? Or is that.
no, 'cause
Explain your
I
blind
know
side thing.
how girls are.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to know, like, because how was your whore face, basically, when
Whoa.
he got out of a 14-year relationship?
How was your whore face? I thought she said
Yeah.
whore face.
Oh,
Meaning like your last girlfriend or something.
No.
You know that whore face you dated? That slut.
Whore face. No, I just kind of wanted to know because it's like a girlfriend's friend, or is it going to come back to me? Like, I just,
Yeah.
once we were steady and serious, I kind of wanted to know, like, a brief history. Like, how many? And, like, who?
Yeah.
Like, say the name. Does it ring a bell? Is there a connection
Okay.
before it gets too
Have you
deep?
been blindsided before?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, it came in handy that he told me some stuff.
Okay.
So my example was, you're out of Tin Cup, and so, just so you know, he fucked my girlfriend 2 weeks ago. And I could be like, yeah, Sarah, he told me about that. That
Yeah.
was the weekend before he met me. Like, then I come from, like, a position of strength, not blindsided. I'm not upset. Like, he told me, I go, how long ago was your last hookup? So if it comes my way, I that's just me. I felt empowered by knowing what he did.
Okay.
And I was glad to hear that he had sex with more than one woman. I'm like, oh, good, because I don't want to be the first one out of the relationship. It's scary. There's a higher chance they need to get more out of their system. So, like, I was refreshed by his, like, little journey and just kind of wanted to know some details.
Stop. Stop it.
Stop what?
That's just me, though.
Yeah,
That's not
no,
what
I
she
know.
calls it. It's not little journey.
No, that's not what I meant, but I was just,
Like,
yeah.
and it did come in handy. We were at Tin Cup, and a girl did pull me aside.
And tried.
And we just wanted to give me some information. And I was like,
What?
okay.
Do they want
Was that the night I was
All right.
bouncing? I threw her out.
Hang on
No,
a second.
not
I want
that.
to know, like, when a woman does that, is she trying to be helpful, or is she trying to be hurtful?
It's questionable.
Right.
I think
Little
they're
bit
like
column
trying
A,
to
little bit
warn
column
you /
Warn you what?
I don't know. Like, you seem all about him. 2 weeks ago, he was out on the town.
Okay, but 2 weeks ago he was out on the town, but he didn't know you then.
Correct.
So, like, how much do you let your trust step in there?
Here's why it's scary, because, like, that'll scare some girls away. Like, were you banging a new girl every week? Like, you kind of want to have some data.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Are you the type of person, though, that sometimes when you hear stories about knowing, being secure that it's you and he and you and he, right? That's it. But if you hear stories about him in the past, does it kind of turn you on a little bit? Go, oh, I can outdo that.
Didn't turn me on. It didn't turn me on. It
Okay.
didn't upset me. Like, he just told me, and I just processed it. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it came in handy another time. There was a guy that was being a jerk and was trying to rub it like up. He was upset with Mike.
Why?
I don't know if we can say. It was a situation with Katie. Like her dating, and he kind of said something that made the guy look bad. It was truthful, so the guy wanted to get back at him. And so he said some information like, oh, you know this about Mike? And I actually was like, yeah, I already knew that. So, like, by knowing that, I could have his
Did
back.
he say something in front? You didn't say something in front of the guy. Someone had to tell on you.
Katie.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, like, it got him fired
Why
up.
do people
kinda.
like so much fucking drama? There's a lot of drama.
Idle hands.
It's a lot of drama. You're just trying to help somebody out privately.
He was trying to privately help Katie out, and it got back, and he took a little dagger, and it helped me, though, because he did tell me that. He said there was a girl before you that I did really like a lot, and she dumped me because I was too soon out of a relationship.
Okay.
And we got close. Like, he told me that. So this guy was trying to sabotage, like, by saying he was crazy about this other girl, and I'm like, he told me.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I had his back, and I wasn't blindsided. Like, oh, no way, really? I was like, I knew this. What's your deal? Like, it's obviously strong front.
It's got to be one hell of a spreadsheet.
No, that's a pretty.
So that's just.
It's a pretty intelligent way to go about it, because I think that most people would be back on their heels, right?
Exactly.
And you start to feel insecure, and you start to feel like, what can I really trust here? What's really going on? I don't think most people are like that, though.
I know.
I think most people
different. But I didn't ask for
a little different.
Okay, a lot different.
Yeah,
I didn't ask for like a ton of details.
No,
just kind of like who.
In a good way. I think different, but in a good way.
But I think a lot of people, especially when you're new in a relationship, if you're both out on the town and there's a lot of activity, I think it can cause a breakup or some relationship tension.
Yeah.
With all those unknowns.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I think it was really helpful.
Sure.
And so we went out one night, and there was an ex of mine that was there, and he kind of was like coming in for a hot. I was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, that's this guy. Like, so then he knew. He wasn't like, oh, I didn't hear about that. So it's like you're a couple, and you know each other's history. I think it was really nice for me. I don't know how you felt about it.
No, it was great.
I feel like it brings you closer.
It does. And normally you keep things to yourself. You share a little bit, but not a lot. But with her, able to share.
You can't. Everything. You don't have a choice, Mike. There's no fucking rule. It's like you don't have a choice. She's gonna steamroll it out of you. She's just keep coming at you. So you're like, fine.
It's very liberating.
But I would say I'm saying it like being a dick, but it is. But it is. It probably is liberating.
And it comes in handy because of things like that, where you're like, I already told you. You already knew about it. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
Take the bullets out of the gun.
Yeah.
Take the bullets out of the gun.
It's helped both of us.
But and then did you? Because I have a feeling like Mike and I'm just gonna project on myself here. I wouldn't really want to know.
Well, everybody's different. You kind of were more.
At first,
like,
I didn't want there's things like I don't want to know. I don't need to hear it.
I'm assuming you dated other guys. I don't need to know. I don't. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that you went. Oh, by the way, but.
I mean, I didn't give you any crazy details.
No, not crazy details. But even who they were, maybe what they did, how long you were with the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little rundown.
Yeah. Do you come with like a little laminated card that you just go, psst, here's my recent past. That's what it sounds like.
QR code.
Like a
Doesn't
football-
it sound like that?
Like a football card.
Yeah, like a little
card.
football card. Like,
No, it's just
on the back,
it was
it
a
shows
nice
stats.
Stick a gum in the
conversation.
back.
How many times I've been sacked?
QR code. You probably don't want to scan this.
Best year 2022.
I gotta say, man, you are you're an impressive chick. You are, because all this stuff, like when you come on so strong, I think that people don't know how to really take you. I'm being very honest, and I think you said to me, I was very quiet the first couple times you came in. I did, but I knew you. I
Now
can
you've
read,
gotten to know
no,
me.
no, but I can read somebody pretty quick in terms of like I knew there was value. You were going to be funny. You were. I go. All right, this is good, but I wasn't sure. Like I didn't want to. I didn't know where to step. I always believe with some people there are landmines, and I didn't want to do that because. But as the further we went along, I realized no landmines, and if you step on one, it'll just be funny anyway.
You didn't want to. You didn't want to poop around you.
But the
Right.
no, but the.
Phew, that stinks.
But somebody said to me that watching the podcast that they have come to really appreciate you as a person. And this is a woman who said this, by the way. It's a woman because, and you know, women will be probably a little more catty on other women. And
True.
and there have been on other people on the podcast, like, you know, but the one thing they said about you was that you have a big heart and that you really are a very genuine person. And I go, yeah, you come on. I think most people aren't used to that. Like that much honesty, that much stuff, right? I mean, in a way, it's like you don't know whether to believe it. Is it bullshit? Like I'd be like, is this bullshit? What's going on?
I have that with work
Definitely not.
too.
Definitely
You know.
not bull.
What do you mean with work?
So
No, in the beginning, I'm saying I would be. I would have thought if I were, you know, in your shoes, I'd be like, I'm not so sure about what's going on here.
I don't know. We had an awesome relationship from the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
We really did. Flowed so nice.
One thing that she taught me too is being mindful of certain things.
Like what?
Let's say someone reached out to her on Facebook, a guy hitting on her.
Yeah.
She would say, "Hey, just so you know, someone reached out to me," and just letting me know things so that I don't get caught off guard if I were to happen to see something.
See, now here's what I would think. This is where my twisted head goes. I would think she'd kind of warning me, you know, I still got it. If you don't treat me right, there's a million other guys that would be willing to jump on me in a minute.
I share if I get hit on. I'll be like, just so you know, I received this message and here was my response.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I show him, and he's showed me something.
And I don't ask for it. I mean, she
No,
voluntarily shares it with me.
that's my thing. Is like I don't think you would at all. I wouldn't either with somebody.
I just don't want any
Here's
surprises.
how weird not weird. I just would never. When I was married, even I never went in my wife's purse. I just never felt.
go in
I was never comfortable doing that.
I aim for gum.
No,
Sometimes you might need gum.
no. Yeah, maybe I do, but I'll go buy my own.
I'm joking.
I just I wouldn't go. I just am not comfortable doing that.
No.
To me, that's your private space. So if someone's sending you a message, I'm just gonna at this point trust that either you're in or you're out. And if you're out, well then shame
I'll
on
just
me.
show him. We'll be cooking dinner. Be like, hey, check this out. I just got this message.
Yeah,
today.
I've done that
But
with
then
people
after a
too.
while, I'm like, I don't need. I trust you. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. But for me, if there was something where I needed to share with her,
What's the filthiest message you've ever received from somebody?
Oh,
You've had to have gotten some filthy.
definitely. And they don't even phase me. I'm just like, okay.
Do you ever get dick pics on there?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've got a ton of stuff. I mean, I kind of
Dan
out
Burrow
in the
has
public
said.
was like, I love Mike.
Yeah.
It hasn't really been since I publicly announced him, but definitely dick pics, and I would do this
Where
to
do,
you,
where,
and I would do
wait,
that.
really?
Oh,
wait, whoa,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa. On dating sites?
No,
or
through
on
my Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got to be shitting me. For
Yeah.
real?
Uh-huh.
Man, I must be living in the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
I
I had one
you don't get
guy.
any?
Hey, gentlemen, send the
This
dick
is
pics to
really
Bill.
good.
He's
no
asking
dick
for 'em.
pics. I get nothing. Mike, a dick pic would be great. No, please
You're
don't.
gonna get
Please,
50
I
dick
don't want
pics
fucking
over
any.
this
None.
weekend.
None.
Well,
None.
this one guy's like, I know you're a successful woman, and I'm just a small-time man or something. He's like, but this dick would be the best you've ever had. He sends me his dick.
What are guys thinking? Honest
Worst
to God.
dirty
Like,
lyrics ever.
Just a small town boy.
Yeah.
But I got a huge packer.
And this is me. I'm like, whoa, I'm glad you shared that because I couldn't that's not going to fit. And I wouldn't be with someone that would send a dick pic without taking me on a date first. So I'm just going to pass, buddy. Good luck. Like, kind of funny. I just like, I would have her, this is single days, not with him, but I would kind of just like make a funny comment and then next.
Those would be the people I would call on Facebook Messenger.
Would you
and say that to their face?
Would you? That would be a really funny bit though, to have like someone pose as a single woman to see what kind of like almost fishing. What can you get? This is just out of the blue, Stephanie. Just completely out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's bold.
Guys do bold
Did
things.
chicks did when you were single?
Did you get any dick pics when you were single?
No, but like I don't think women ever send like I don't know. Titty
Gas
shots? No,
Like voluntarily on their own.
voluntarily.
unprompted.
Like, hey, you know what? You really like to. Hey, how'd you like to bury your face and play motorboat in these? You know
Girls
what I mean?
don't do that.
No.
Women don't.
No, but what is going? Like, I'm a guy. I
don't
wouldn't send a
know.
dick pic.
I've had a lot over the years.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Man, that'd be funny if you could do like a whole wall
Oh,
of dicks.
jeez. I mean, I've deleted them. I don't need to
Of
see
course
them,
you don't.
But, yeah.
But I mean, there's really like, there's nothing that I
You might want to get that looked at.
was
and
always
girls will
Did you
share them
practice
with their girlfriends.
Of course they will.
Oh my! And some things I'm like, I've never seen it. I've never seen that. My one girlfriend had a guy like the top half was white and the bottom half was brown.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't know
Yeah.
they made them like that.
They don't. No.
We're like zooming in. I'm like, it looks like he's got a tan line.
No,
And
mulatto
did he
dick?
get
No.
sunburned?
You know what that is?
penis?
No, it's like the Napoleon ice cream. It starts out a little red at the top. We get white in the middle, and then we're chocolate at the
Straight
bottom.
lines.
Yeah.
Not like a fade, like hard cuts.
Yeah. You know what that is? It's
Black
like,
and tan.
yeah.
Black and tan.
The Patrick Mahomes of penis?
No, but that's what sometimes I think that's guys who have like over time the dick
know.
turns a little darker.
It's Jake from
If
State Farm.
You're out
You
there.
beat a little too much?
And then the part
the
that
color
isn't
off of it.
exposed to, I don't know if you're walking around naked or whatever, but you would see, like, I remember as a kid
Your balls
seeing a
need some
penis
sun.
like that in the Jersey Shore. You went in to the showers after to get the sand out of your crack of your ass and all this, so you can go home and make a pearl or whatever. And you're in there, and I remember being a little
my
kid
God.
and seeing this guy's penis, and I was like, oh.
What is that?
Yeah.
So here's another thing with the dick pics. I'm zooming in like, what's their house like in the background? And I see, oh, look at that. Oh, he's got nice granite. Oh, this guy looks like he's living like a slum. Like, and then girls like will analyze the
Okay.
whole picture.
All right, I have a real
so
I have a
funny.
real question.
Okay.
So in your
As opposed to the fake ones.
no,
Opposed to the-
no, our friend Doug Phelps.
Okay.
Okay, I say that Doug Phelps lives the closest thing you can as an adult in a child's fort. He lives in
Okay.
so he's got a small apartment. Nothing wrong with that. But he's the kind of guy, and this is where you're almost a confirmed bachelor. You know those ropes things that you put your plant in,
Yeah.
and they hang from the ceiling.
He's got a sex one?
Well, I called it the sex one for the plant, but the plant outgrew it. It got too big, but so it's just hanging with nothing in it from the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, and then like everything's cluttered and all this, and I go. So here's my thing. I said, what do you do when somebody comes? He goes, my father asked me the same thing. Do I clean up? And he goes, I figure if I get you back here, game on no matter what. Now, have
No.
you? Yes. Have you not walked into places, maybe at some point, and kind of gone, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, like
I gotta get out of
completely
here.
turned off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's a turnoff.
Yes.
All right. That's what I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
say. Yeah. And apparently,
Or like the smell. There's one guy had
Whoa!
this huge dog, like, bleh, and it smelled like nasty.
That's
oh,
dog, not dog.
disgusting. Dog. Like real stinky, real messy.
yeah. No,
Yeah, I
I
can't handle
no, and I mean I'm not gonna say I'm the neatest, but I'd like my place to be clean. I can,
No,
yeah.
I've been into some. Ugh.
Well, I remember even going
Throughout
to
the
one
years.
girl's house and the toilet had like speckles in it, and I was like, I can't. Yeah, you know.
You had issues with that speckles here the other night.
No, this was a speckle. Somebody had splashed up on the underside of the seat, so it's running
Like
down.
diarrhea
Yeah,
splashes.
and I go
Speckles.
that's nasty. But the bowl was speckled. So then you know what I do? I had to go to the
Those are
bathroom. I
Easter
couldn't
eggs.
hold it. So then I used those as target practice and try to scrape them off with you.
Oh God!
Yeah.
You might get splashback. You get poop particles. What
No,
are
I'm
you
not
doing?
pooping.
Sharticles?
Sharticles.
Do we have any plumbing sponsors?
No,
That
we
would
don't.
be a great
Yeah,
time.
right? Yes, we need to get a plumbing
some in.
sponsor. That would be fantastic.
Anyone know a good plumber?
Yes.
Wants a
Liquid
sponsor?
plumber.
See, I think you should write a book.
Oh God, I got lots of.
No, I'm
stories.
serious. I think you should
Maybe.
write a book, like a dating book or something. Or you guys should do a couples podcast
We could.
where you talk about this kind of thing and how you've tackled issues and different things like that. I don't know if you'd run out of, I don't know, into the series. You'd have to sort of storyboard it out in
The
terms
last
of that.
podcast
Yeah.
was
But
six
this
with
whole
Stephanie.
thing has been like, Mike, I'm telling, I know a million guys that are appear like Mike. I was going to say seem like Mike, but appear like Mike.
Sometimes I dream.
No, he's
He's like a manly man, but
Yes.
he can shred the guitar and shred
Yes.
the drums.
No,
but
but
he's
like he-
romantic, but he couldn't. He cooks
Wow,
too,
see
and
now
he
that
cleans.
now
and
that's the other side of the stuff that
he's
usually
got the
he
hottest
doesn't
beard
want.
game ever.
He doesn't want people to know. You know that? The hottest beard game ever. You
I
like
love
that, don't
that
you?
beard.
Don't-
He looks like he
Doesn't want people to
Why
know
do you
he's
love
half a
that
bitch?
beard,
I
Stephanie?
just got a thing for beards.
Okay.
I just,
He
I'm a
looks like
beard
he-
girl.
yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looks like he stepped out of a Duluth Trading Post ad. Duluth Trading.
Yeah. Somebody wrote in on
Got a
something.
gal like
How about
Steph.
that model that looked just like you but fatter?
What model was this?
Franco Harris.
And like
Oh, he
the-
does look like Franco Harris. Have you been told that?
The
Who's
football
that?
player?
Yeah.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
He was a running back for
No.
the Steelers.
You gotta
Yeah,
queue
pull up a
pic.
pic of Frank. Yeah, Franco.
He died about a year ago, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I mean,
Do you have a picture of that? The
No,
model
I
on
think I
the.
deleted it.
I might have it in
He
a
was on a
text
Big
thread
and
with your.
Tall magazine.
Yeah, I might have it with your mom. Oh, it's so funny. I was like, is he modeling?
Wow.
It's really kind of funny.
so
Oh, boy.
here's a picture of Franco Harris.
Oh my God, is he half black?
Yes, half
I
Italian.
kind of see it.
A little bit with the beard. I mean, you could
Yeah, I
play the
kinda
guy
see
in
that.
a recreation, sort of from a distance. You know, it's not a terrible.
Where is
So what?
I don't know.
A model. What was he modeling?
like men's clothing?
Okay.
Like winter clothing.
All right.
I might have deleted
Snow
it. I'm
pants
just
and
trying to do like a quick. I got a lot of funny pictures of
But
you in here.
what I was going to say is you dragged a lot of stuff out of him, and he realized he's better off for it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like
I
all
pushed
this
the
honesty.
limits, pushed the boundaries.
I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that I think is the most interesting is, leveling on the stuff so I'm not blindsided. I would
wanna
have
know
never thought of that.
everything. Yeah.
I would have never thought, because if somebody came up to me and goes, she slept with somebody 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, yeah, she's not tonight. That would have been my answer. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
even,
girls
I don't
are
even fucking
sensitive.
think.
I just don't want to be
No,
blind. I
because
want to know your demons.
I think guys are as well, and I think that that would be my knee jerk response.
But on the inside, you might be like, "Ooh,
Oh,
did
it'll
you
be
do this
eating.
a lot?"
It'll be eating the
But
back
it's
of my
different if
mind.
he says, "I just had someone had sex a week prior, but before that was like you kind of." I just like
Yeah.
the data, so you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you ever
It
say?
brought me peace.
Do you ever say things like, "Was I better?"
No,
No.
I'm pretty confident. I don't know.
All right, let's take a quick moment, and then we'll give away. We have a Woodcliff Hotel and Spa gift certificate
Really?
to give away. Yeah, so you can use it in their spa. They have a really beautiful spa up there. It's so nice. It's like you don't even realize you're still in the area. It's like you traveled somewhere. And then you can also use it in the restaurant if you want to, or put it towards a hotel stay or whatever.
Cool. How do you win it?
So people are calling in at 585-206-8866 and telling us why they deserve this. We're calling it Gift Yourself. And I went through a bunch of the phone calls, and I think this will be the best one so far. And we'll see. And maybe you may be able to relate. Kevin may be
Okay.
able to relate. Yeah.
All right.
So we will get to that next.
Okay.
But first,
It's all cold down along the beach. And the wind's whipping down the boardwalk. Hey, man! Hey, man! You guys know what time of year it is? What time? What? What? Oh, Christmas time. You guys all been good and practicing real hard? Yeah? Clarence, you've been rehearsing real hard.
Oh, the late Clarence.
So Santa, bring your new saxophone ready. Everybody out there been good or what?
You're not a Bruce fan.
Oh, that's not many.
I like a couple songs.
Yeah.
Best show I've ever seen.
He's a real good performer.
He's almost 7 years old.
A lot of respect for him.
Dan wouldn't even poop in front of Bruce. Had to wait till he got home.
Was that the Bruce show?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I forgot that.
The Exxon oil spill.
Yeah. Danny held it all the way.
It was in the front. Yeah, yeah.
It was up front. He couldn't go.
Oh
What do you do when you're up front at a concert and you have?
I saved the beer cup and I pee in it. I did that at my last Metallica. I don't want to lose my spot. So you save it, and then I had a skirt and just swoop, and then dump.
You gotta have good aim.
Yeah.
Because at least
it was a wide mouth cup. I mean, how good of an aim do I need?
Well, I don't fucking know. Look, I gotta at least this. I can aim it, right? I can hold on. I can aim it. I can go. Hey, I'll go over here.
I've only done that one time in my life, and I only do that for big, like Metallica. Other than that, I'm not fucking doing that.
I watched somebody.
I'm not pissing in the pit for no damn
I'll
journey.
tell you what. I
not for that's right, but Metallica, I'm not losing my freaking spot.
no,
I'll
but
pee in a
I
cup.
remember going to a Bills game and being stuck in traffic in a limo.
Yeah.
And a woman had to climb into the back and pee in a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I
We're
don't know
stuck
the
in
balance.
traffic. Just get out, go find a wood, and catch up to the limo 3
Yeah,
feet
but
down the road.
It's a woman. You can't.
Yeah,
You know, it's not the
219's got a lot of
same
space.
thing.
Now
It's
we got
not-
to squat.
Yeah, the squatting thing. It's kind of unfair.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of unfair to all that. All right, so we've got the holiday gift card to give away from Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. They have a whole bunch of stuff going on there. You can unwrap winter magic. You should visit woodcliffhotelspa.com/winter. And if you book by December 24th, they have some exclusive offers for you to take advantage of. But this call kind of resonated with me.
We had a very tough year. I wanted to see if that spa gift card is available for my wife. Our son just got kicked out of daycare, so now we got to figure out daycare and stuff. So, let me know. I just definitely want to
smoking in.
put my name out there. Thanks, Billy. Take care. Bye.
All right, so
His son got kicked out of daycare.
let me just say
That's
this.
How you gonna go to
If
Woodcliff?
your wife would be, I just felt bad for this guy, and if it'll help him out at home and help his relationship, because I don't know how you get kicked out of daycare. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know if you're like biting. If you just stop, you don't stop biting. You don't stop hitting them over the head.
Hitting other kids.
Yeah.
Swearing.
Oh, swearing. See, but all that like sort of reflects as bad parents, but sometimes they're toddlers. It's not like, you know what I mean? Maybe the F-bomb is being dropped and all, but.
I know a couple toddlers that like to swear.
Who?
Oh, I'm related to them.
Oh, yeah. I think my kids probably did. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm just a babysit them. Yeah, they would curse. So yeah.
Yeah.
All kids swear. They just hide it from their
I don't know. You have what do you have, a daughter?
I have a son.
You have a son. How old's your son? Oh, he's 21.
21.
Yeah, that's right. You went to Vegas and did that whole thing.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. You took him to Vegas for his 21st birthday?
Yeah, we were talking about it for years.
Wow.
I took him there when he was 11 or 12.
Uh-huh.
He said, I got to come back here.
Man, I'm fucking
He
lame.
wants to go back again.
I'm lame for 21. I didn't do that for my guys who turned 21.
Still got a shot with Jameson.
Huh?
You still got a shot with
yeah,
Jameson.
it's not too late.
Yeah, I got one left. Yeah, I got a few years. Right. They'll be so mad.
Like, the others.
3 of them.
Yes.
Just invite them all.
Invite everybody. Hey, all right. I'll make it a...
Dad is only doing this one time, so now the youngest, we're all going. Yeah.
It was fun. He brought his girlfriend, and I didn't really see him the whole trip, mostly.
Oh, really?
Well, you know, they were the girlfriend. They
They were
wanted
the
to just go
girlfriend.
off.
They did their own thing. And
Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah,
nice.
they went walking. That's what they did.
Walking, shopping.
What? Well, you've been to Vegas.
Oh, an addict.
You're an addict?
No, I go once or twice a year.
For what?
Gambling, food, shopping.
Do you go to any shows?
Shows, all of
Have
that.
you been to any like the strip joints, male or female out there?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't like.
You do not.
You don't like strip clubs. That's right. I forgot.
You don't want to do that.
Why?
Anyway,
No.
because you'll. I was there for 20 minutes, and I'm not a strip club person. And the guy I went with, he goes, "No, you'll like it. It's a Spearmint Rhino." I'm like, "I don't do strip clubs." He goes, "No, let's go." I'm like, "Okay." We go in. Security makes sure that you're not just standing around watching anything.
Oh, it's expensive.
Yeah, you got to be funneled through. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. So then one of the dancers will find, "Hey, want to do a shot?" I'm like, okay,
You gotta
sure.
pay for her,
Yeah,
so.
$75, 2 shots. Right?
Fucking
oh yeah.
shit,
Oh yeah.
man.
I'm
Not to
like,
mention
Todd,
the
we're
$50
leaving. Let's
cover.
go. We're not sticking around for this.
I mean, you've been a bunch.
So then they're 20 minutes in and out. I'm like, done.
Wow.
Like, do not go to a strip club in Vegas.
I
I don't
never.
want to do it anymore.
I used to have to do gigs at the Mirage when I was on radio.
Really?
Yeah, and I was always entertained by the clientele. That what I found way more interesting than the dancers.
Did you get my flowers?
Yeah, yeah. Like the guys that would
Yeah.
walk the girl at the end of the night to the car,
Uh-huh.
the guy that would carry shit. And I go, I wanted to just grab the guy and go, what are you doing? But then I thought, well, there's no harm. He's just being sweet. There was nothing.
They fall in love with the strippers.
They fall in love with the fucking show. Who could do that? I had
Lonely
one.
people?
I had one that
I
she
don't
had to
know.
be coked out of her mind or something. And we're talking, and I must have gone like this, but I wasn't talking to her. And she took my finger and she bit down and wouldn't let go. I thought she was going to break the skin. I thought I was going to have to get fucking rabies shots. I couldn't. I thought
You're going to have to punch her.
that's exactly what I thought I was going to have to do. I was like, I'm going to have to punch this broad right in the fucking nose to get her to open her mouth. And finally she opened up. I think I had for like 3 days the molar imprint on my finger. Like they're fucking crazy these, and this is like local level. I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas, they're super hot.
Of course they are. They're the hottest in the world, I would assume.
are, yeah.
But even there, you go, what am I getting out of this? You know, I get all right. After a while, you know, I'd rather have somebody I could do something with than this. If I'm going to spend this kind of money, I better get some ass at the end of it. You know what I mean? And that ain't happening. That's not happening there.
You go to the Bunny Ranch instead.
Well, there's an old phrase in a strip club: you'll get effed, but you won't get laid. That's the old expression.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you know this? How do you know this is not being a strip club guy?
Because
I mean, it sounds very
Because he
accurate.
has guy friends.
I pay attention.
Well, so do I. But I mean,
a few times
but you know what,
strip
my
club.
guy?
Well, no, because MTV used to have those
Strip club
shows.
anymore.
True Life, I'm a wrestler. True Life, I'm a stripper. And so when you're a kid, you're like watching like Channel 41 MTV.
No,
you're
I've been
watching
up
it and
to-
like, oh, you learn all this stuff.
The Sundowner in Canada, and we used to go, and there was an old boss that would take us, and but I was highly entertained watching the boss get a lap dance or something. Like it was so weird. I go, man, this is some funny shit.
I've been to all of them too. I had a whole life. Except my man would be right next to me, and I'd watch it. I don't want it anymore.
You watched
Remember-
The Boss?
Remember Brittany, the psychic stripper? She said she loved
The
doing couple
psychic?
dances.
Yeah, we called her the psychic stripper because she was not a psychic.
No.
She was not. No. But what I did was to prove that everybody puts out too much information on social media, and this is what, like
2011.
11. I said, so we had people call up. We're going to commercial break. Call up now. She'll give you a reading. And I would have everybody in the room scour this person. So, like, let's say Mike calls in. All right, Mike,
All over the
first,
social
last name.
media, yeah.
And everybody's hitting, like, Twitter so we could find something. So then I think somebody bought a new car. They had the picture on there. And she said, I feel like you've got something new in your life. There's a new thing that's a big deal. And she's like, yeah.
No
and she goes,
way.
yes. And she goes, I'm getting the impression that it's more of a material thing. And she's like, oh, my God. She's like, yeah. And I just got a new car. She goes, yes, that's it. Is it red? And she's like, yeah. You're right. Oh, my God.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, and maybe the money, it reminds you, this is where you make it up, right? It reminds you of somebody in your life. Oh, my God, yeah, my grandfather had a red car. And like, right? So that's all. It's all.
So then
it was all bullshit.
So then people would call up asking her to do like real readings.
Yeah,
for
real
them.
readings, and
In
I
real
have
life.
to go. No, the thing was, you put all that information out on social media. You tell on yourself so much, that it was only to prove that's what we do. That's why I did it. So she was
freaking awesome.
A former stripper. I do remember somebody. There was a stripper who interned on Tony Infantino's show.
Okay, that's a weird place to intern.
She was an intern, and she was there, and somebody found out she was a stripper, so a bunch of people went down and got lap dances.
Was it D?
No, it wasn't D. But yeah, which would be really uncomfortable, right? You work with these assholes, and then they're showing up here,
right?
You're like, you're trying to like get out of the strip club, maybe.
I can only think
get
I
to
can
better
think in
your
my head
life.
of
So-
who they were that went down there too.
Well, so when Alex worked with us, she was our intern,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then like when I do remotes, guys would come up to me, hey, Alex. I go, yeah. Do you think she'd go out with somebody like me? I would get asked at least once an appearance about Alex.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Because we had a camera in the studio, so you could watch us.
Oh,
So, like, remember-
she wasn't with you at the appearance.
No. They
This
would
is
just
a
come up to
fucking
me.
weird thing. This is weird. Like, I don't know if I'm a different dude. I just lived in a bubble. I would never go up and go, do you think she'd go out with me? I may ask a buddy about a mutual chick going, hey, but I would never I wouldn't send a dick pic. I'm going to start sending dick pics. I'm doing it. I'm turning a new leaf in 2024.
2024 is Christmas
That's
card.
it. I'm turning a fig leaf. That's what I'm going to do.
Just make sure the background looks good. Make sure you're groomed.
Yeah,
Look at the bedding.
The lighting's got to be right.
Oh, yeah.
No tan lines.
No, I don't know. Some people might like that.
And you're Irish, so fluff.
Yeah, I got it. I'll put half of Viagra first, and then we'll make sure. Just make sure we go.
Yeah, chicks look at all that, or they just delete it.
Do any women like the dick pic? You know of? Do they like getting the dick pic? Not in a relationship, but maybe or maybe you just started out and all of a sudden like. Because I've heard women say that it escalates quickly. I think it was you might have said it escalates
does.
quickly. You go, how's your day? Great. How was yours? Oh, pretty good. Boss.
I don't wanna leave
Boss
with
was up
sex.
my ass. Was he up your ass with this? Boom, dick and balls.
No.
And here comes the dick. You're like, what?
I only want dick pics after you've had sex. I don't want to lead the courtship with sex.
With dick
Like
pic.
once you have sex, if he sent me a dick pic, I probably would love it. I'd be like, oh. But like, I don't want to lead and start the relationship with dick pics.
No, but you have friends.
Yes.
What do they think of the dick pic? Any of them are kind of like, yeah.
All the women I know hate dick pics.
Hate dick pics.
Yeah.
Are they just saying that to fit in?
No.
All right.
I mean, because I'm like, I think they're funny. I analyze them. I always turn them down because I don't want a guy that'll lead with that. But I always found them entertaining. I was never grossed out. Some girls are, ugh, and I'm like, analyze. Yeah.
There's a strange spot. Like, what was it, you said that? Or who said that? You did?
Yeah, I said
One of
yeah,
you.
I
One
said,
of you.
yeah, you gotta get that looked
You
at.
better get the STD test. So this has been fascinating for me because you had the STD. You were the first person I ever knew that was pretty.
We didn't do anything. May 3rd, I got it. I met him May 1st, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Yep.
that quickly.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I want to
I
jump.
can show you the picture.
I want
We
to
just
jump.
saw it. I have,
no,
like,
but
a
I'm
little-
saying like I want to jump right in.
Well, I want to be ready in case it gets heated. Like it's.
Well, you knew it was.
Or if he needs Lipitor for his cholesterol,
Like-
check that on the blood test.
I think you went through your cabinets, babe. No.
Did any like it says? Have you known anybody and it came back and they go, hey, you do? How does that conversation go?
So it was me personally.
What?
Yep. One of the guys that I liked, I was like, okay, time to get tested. I got tested. He got tested. And then he disappeared. But we talked an hour. He goes, oh, it's almost 24 hours. He's like, I should have the results real soon. I was like, cool. I was going to see him that weekend. Gone. Ghosted.
Okay. So something popped up on the test.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Popped up.
Like completely disappeared.
So, but no guy has ever said to you, do you ask to see the results or do you
Yes.
trust?
Both. I depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, this guy just disappeared. I'm like, he definitely had something.
yeah.
Or he didn't do it.
No, he did. He did.
So,
like magic, he was.
but has any guy come up to you and said, hey, listen, I did.
No, nobody's had anything.
No, nothing.
No.
Really?
Nothing.
In Rochester?
Yeah.
Slutville.
Well, I don't have like
Baltimore.
I don't have like crazy high numbers or anything.
No. That's not.
but
I'm not.
I don't have like.
You
a lot
don't
of
have to have
exposure
crazy high
asking
numbers for them to have
exactly.
something on their test. That's
No
not
one's
an indictment
ever
on you
had
at all.
anything. No, except the one guy that just
Disappeared.
completely disappeared right when it
Did
was
you ever
time.
speak to him ever again?
Oh yeah, I ran into him. I
And-
said, "So what kind of STD you got?" I know that's why you ghosted me, and he was like, "Beat red." I fucking called him right out. You know it. I did.
How
Beat-
embarrassing.
No, I knew you would think that.
I knew you would think
beat
that.
Red and
So what was the reason? So that if that's not the reason, what is the reason?
you could tell that was the reason.
Yes,
it was
I
like
know.
small talk around it.
Or like Kevin said, he never even got one.
Yeah.
No,
Because he already knew.
He got one.
How do you know he got one? He sent you pictures? You made the appointment? Or, I don't know. Am I stepping into a bad area here? I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Well, don't answer. Just say I.
Okay, you really want to know. So, we were on a couple dates, and he got like really horny, and he wanted to do stuff. And I have like a rule, like on oral, it's all part. I don't do any. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Handy?
I might have like one exception in my whole life. I will put that out there.
Okay.
One exception.
All right.
Don't want to be like a hypocrite.
Okay.
But for the most part,
Nobody
it's
really
all-
even needed to know that.
all right, I'm just
But if
saying.
you feel better cleansing your soul, hey,
I don't want to lie. Technically,
confessional
one
is
time
open.
I didn't have a yes. Well,
An
I
STD.
broke it one time.
One time. That guy must have been hotter than shit. I got to think that guy had to be so hot.
It was prom night.
I had no way. Like,
Did he look like Aquaman?
He had to be so hot. This guy. I don't know. I know.
He was so hot. There you go.
Sorry, Mike.
Okay. So anyway, I'm like,
You get him
red.
talking
You
about
never
that.
get me beat red.
I know.
I beat red.
Well, I
okay,
didn't
so
mean to-
I broke it.
All
Okay.
right. But none of us knew. You all offer
I
all
don't
this
like
info.
to lie. I just don't like it. Okay.
So
where
who's
we
gonna
go
know
with
you're
this?
lying?
Oh, okay. So this guy, things were heating up. We're in a couple dates, and he's like, I just have to. You got to do something with me. I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with you until we go get tested. It's just what I'm doing.
Right.
So he took care of himself.
In front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a comic got canceled for doing that.
So, and when he was
Louis C.K. Ever hear of him? Not for a while.
I helped him like wiped up. I was like, hang on, you missed. I
missed a spot. Oh.
And I went, you missed, and it had red in it.
Oh, blood? Blood?
And I was like, thank God, this is why I have my rules. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Well, that's true, but it could have been building up for a while.
But so he was.
You know what he did?
Terrified.
Hang on a
and
second.
definitely went to the doctor.
All right.
That's how I know he was.
might have had a
poor
shot
guy
on a
was
sharp nail or
terrified.
something.
Okay, so this was that guy.
So the doctor said, I don't even know if I believe it. He goes, we've seen some extreme cases of blue balls where maybe
I was going to say this is
because we had some back-to-back dates. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So his doctor told him it was extreme blue balls.
You ever hear the term bust a nut? He literally busted a nut.
They think that's what happened. He had so much tension for so long. I don't know if I believe that or not, but that's
Mike,
what-
bullshit, right? Big bullshit on that.
I don't. But so he was really scared.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm on my way in. They're going to look for everything. They're like, so he was scared. He called me. He's like, I'm here and I'm out. Like we had a full conversation.
This is the part. Well, you know what? I can't say because as a guy, you get to a certain point and you're like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. This is my phrase.
Yeah.
And then you want it, but I would feel so weird after. I don't know if any guy, like the first time you ever had sex or had some kind of sexual experience, like all of a sudden you climb out, it's over, and you're like, how the fuck do I get out of here, and how fast can I get out of here? You know what I mean? It is literally.
I mean, we slept
Fast Times
over.
at Ridgemont High.
Like, we didn't run away.
When Damone gets off the couch and just fucking gone, you're like in seconds. It's
And
this.
we never saw Damone again.
Yeah, but
Well, he had Van Halen tickets to sell.
But it's that.
Wasn't that called Coyote Ugly? Is that
Like
what the phrase is?
I couldn't see. It's my head would go, okay. Well, no, it probably wouldn't. It depends. When this is over, how am I going to feel? Because I have even felt bad where I know
We
like
cuddled and fell asleep. It wasn't like we ran
no.
away.
I right, but I just would be. I've even felt bad like if I've ever pushed and like come on, and you're just like okay, and then I afterwards I go, God, that was kind of fucking creepy that you did that, you know?
Talk about. I felt really empowered
months
for
later,
my
Jameson
rules
was born.
though. Like, whoa,
Yeah,
that was terrifying.
yeah, but you
Thank
broke it one
God.
time. But you learned your lesson from the breaking it one time, I guess.
You know what? I kind of felt like I need to have one experience in my life without being so strict.
Okay.
I kind of, yeah.
Well, the thing
He's looking at me like,
no, but you know what I think it is? I think it's as you get, like the older you get, right? Everybody's going to have a past.
It's kind of like I never did anything crazy. I have one crazy story.
No, but the longer past, like I'm talking about, like for example, Mike or whoever, right? You're at a certain age, you hit. There's more and more and more and more. I want to know. I kind of felt like I should
have one crazy story in my life.
Yeah.
So
how crazy was it?
Nah, I can't say no. Not gonna no.
I didn't hear about this.
He needs to know just in case he comes across this guy.
Whoa, my God. Jesus, we've caused a problem now. I did not mean to.
Well, Matt, we talked about the nitty gritty details. You're like, I'm done with there. But yeah.
What if he meets this guy at the bar? He needs to know.
I mean,
that's right.
Could happen.
Now, see, you know what guys would be different? Now that you say it like that, like girls will come up and go, he banged my friend 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Girls will.
Right. But if a guy went up and gone, hey, man, she ever do the swirly twirly to anybody? Like, you know what I mean? The what?
That would be such a
it'd be like move. Yes, but I could totally see a guy doing that. I could totally
see you doing that.
I could totally see a guy who had never ever ever been with the girl
saying that.
But they were friendly. You walked in, you knew him. He's never, like the guy's never, like Mike's never met this person. You give him a hug. How you been? Blah blah blah. And then like 20 minutes later, come up and go, she ever do this swirly twirly to you, man?
Man.
That's what guys would do. That's a way different thing. It's a little kinder.
Shitster.
Yeah, shitster, I guess. A little bit, yeah. But yeah, that would be the thing. I think the STD test is a good thing. I think the way you pulled stuff out of Mike is a nice thing. I think your kids never got kicked out of daycare. How the fuck do you get kicked out of daycare?
Maybe one time.
I think
they got kicked out?
It was at the Midtown daycare. I think they're like... Maybe my oldest or something was caught. I don't know. It was something really lame, And he had like a 1 week ban.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't anything crazy.
That's weird.
Like he pulled the toy away 3 times from the other, and now he's got to learn a lesson. So 1 week can't be here.
Well, that's the one who gets punished is you, not the kid. The kid doesn't give a shit if he's going back or not.
Exactly. Well, they wanted to make it clear with the parents, so like you really tell the kid. Yeah.
You can't take the toy away.
It wasn't anything major, but
yeah. Next time, hit him in the face.
So we
then
gonna call this guy who won the thing? How does that work? Or does he just
I don't have his number. I have his number. No,
excited
we
want to get the scoop about the daycare. From
all right,
him.
We can call the guy. Can we call him?
Let's see if we can call him.
Sounds kind of fun.
I have the
speaking
number.
of daycare, like, don't you want to know?
Yeah, I do want to know. Actually, that's a very good point. I do want to know. Give me a second, and I will find his number, and I will give him a call, and then we'll wrap it up. Exactly. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I feel like I made you uncomfortable.
I mean, I knew he didn't know that story, so that's why I was like, I'm beat red.
Hang on a second here. We're gonna find this guy. I would love to know. Yeah, how does your kid get kicked out?
I tell you what, I was so stressed out. It's not worth it.
So stressed out of what?
From breaking my rule. I couldn't. I knew I couldn't handle it again.
Hang on a second. This is a call that did come in while we've been on.
Stephanie and Mike. Oh my God! Let me get my pants down. I got a good signal. I'm watching. Oh.
What the? Is that Doug Phelps doing Mark Hillman?
Where's Mark when you need him to watch? I'm watching, man.
There you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Let me see if this is the right
It's like the front row to
I like hearing our
curve row.
I like hearing our names together.
Reach out. We had a very tough year.
Okay, this is the guy. All right, let me see if I can call this guy, and we'll tell him that he's got it. He just has to go. Let's see. What? What did you say now?
Nothing.
She farted in front of him.
Garlicky. No, just kidding.
He's not answering.
I had to put his kid to bed.
All right.
How funny would he answer? You little shit! Like, who is this?
Hi, this is daycare.
Your call has been
You
forwarded.
got to leave a message.
I am going to leave a message. You
got to leave his number off, though.
Yeah. Let me see.
3.
Whoop.
Oh, well, that's all we heard is 3.
Yeah.
3, 1,
Doesn't really
5.
know.
It's not 3 and 5.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
You lose. Oh, well, that's too bad. Dying to know why your kid got kicked out of daycare.
All right.
It's a very interesting
Another
thing for me.
episode.
Another episode. We will find out on another future episode, but we will give him a gift card to the spa at Del Monte. You can use it there. Let your wife get a little relaxation.
Right.
I'll tell you what, makes your life a little bit better. That's all.
Or you could be like that guy who got a free trip for Jackson Hole, Wyoming for his family.
No,
You just take it yourself.
No. That's not what you do. For Mike, you've been a good sport. Stephanie, nice to see you.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Kevin, who wasn't really mad at all. For Dan, who fell for it all.
I'll
I'm Bill
get you.
Moran.
I'm going to get you.
We'll see
I was
you
praying about it every
Monday. I know you were. Like a good Christian, you shouldn't talk shit.
I woke up in a hotel, didn't know what to do. I turned the TV on and wrote a letter to you. The news was talking about a